Now question number 8, saying the time. When you are using automatic license method, okay, let's say I have a license method where I am using automatic. What requirement you need? There, when you talk about license renew or when you configure an F5 from scratch, there is a license terms which are manual and automatic. If you are using automatic in license activation or renewing it, what requirements do you need to fulfill in this case?
Internet.
Anyone?
Internet. Internet is required.
Management IP should communicate to the internet.
Correct. Internet is required.
So in that case, I will give you an option. First, do you need to configure NTP server? Please first understand. Second, provide big IP with internet. Register the device with F5 support. And fourth is, you have to configure DNS. So what would be the answer?
All
B.
of them.
DNS.
All of them. All of them.
All of them.
Answer is B. To use automatic license activation, big IP just need an internet access to reach the licensing server. So you need to make sure that you have to have a suitable IP address, default route, and one more thing, which is, so answer, is it correct? That answer is B. Anyone?
I believe
It
like
should
NTP is required time because how
No,
the
it should
how
be B and D.
it means
Who
internet
answered?
means
Hold on. NTP is wrong answer. NTP is never required to get access to internet.
no
It
no
is just for login server. Anyone else? Anyone wants to go with B and D?
Yes, I have
yes.
confirmed B and D is the answer.
Yes,
Because
B and D.
C cannot be because since we have purchased the license from F5, it already have a support.
So A and C is totally wrong.
Yes.
So when you have to have F5 needing your internet access or licensing server, you just need to have three things: default route, that is important. You have to have DNS servers, and you need to have a suitable IP address. That's it. So answer is B and D. And this comes into picture even if you're using pool members with FQDN based. That questions can be asked in an interview. There are two pool members. One is FQDN based, one is IP address. If you need FQDN based, then F5 should be able to reach out to DNS server. So they need to configure DNS servers. Because F5 by default will not able to resolve your IP address from FQDN. In that case, you need a valid DNS server. Now, question number 9. Few questions I will add in my side. Rest, I will do it from your side. Difference between forwarding layer 2 and forwarding layer 3. What is the use case? In which case I should use forwarding layer 3 and which case I should use forwarding? First, this question. In which case I should use forwarding layer 2 server and in which case I should use forwarding layer 3 virtual server. At a choice, people were not asking questions to me. Now I am asking questions to you and I am asked, you need to answer it. I was telling you vice versa, but people were not telling it. So now it's tough for you.
Forwarding layer
anyone?
if it is from one subnet to another subnet, whereas forwarding layer 2 if it is within the same subnet or same VLAN.
Like one related.
Sorry, yeah, okay. So in this case, how the packet will travel in forwarding layer 2 on the destination, let's say. Your virtual server receives the traffic. On which basis it will forward packet further on?
Based
It's
on the
based on
MAC
VLAN tagging and MAC address.
MAC.
Does it need any pool member to be assigned? Please think and answer.
No.
Anyone? Does it need a pool member?
No, sir.
Okay. So it does not have a pool member facility assigned. So in this case, what happen is most of the scenarios where this case will be used is your virtual server will have the same IP address as a node in correspondence VLAN, that you can say that it will share the same. Most of the time, 99% we don't use it. But see, interviewer can ask anything. So basically what happened, there is a concept of VLAN group. Please study on that. We'll discuss in next interview session. In that concept, it generally do is where what happen in this case is you will include one of the VLAN where the node resides prior to creating a forwarding layer for. So basically what happen in this case, if your virtual server on the VLAN where the node resides, if it shares the IP address, there will be a chance of conflict. So what happen in this case is you have to disable a virtual server initially on the VLAN where the node resides in order to avoid IP address. Then you can configure it later on. In simple scenario, what I would say is your client, I'll just draw a picture for you. You have a client, you have an F5, you have a server, just one server, F5 to the pool member. So there will be one SYN packet to the big IP. Once F5 receives a SYN packet, this SYN packet will be sent to node in associated VLAN, whichever VLAN you have based on IP address. Is it correct statement? No. So it will be based on your MAC address. Then you will get SYNAC. Then SYNAC will be sent to client. Then acknowledgement. So it will just forward the packet between client and node, only TCP three-way handshake. Final step, what will happen once three-way handshake is finished, data packet will be sent. That is where it is basically used. Mostly you will not see it, but you should understand like big IP is a default denied device. If you're not using any HTTP traffic or TCP traffic, you should just configure a virtual server to accept a traffic. If F5 is coming into picture, you have to configure a listener IP. That is the case. Now, one question number 10 for you all. Please understand this question in detail. When a client is establishing a connection with reject virtual server, there is a virtual server which is called reject. How the big IP will handle the request? A, big IP will silently drop the request. Please understand the option. Second, see, this is not related to interview or something. It is mostly once you answer this, they will understand your approach. B, mostly in interview, they'll ask you simple, when a reject virtual server is configured, how big IP will respond it. But here I am giving you options also. Whether it will silently drop the packet, whether it will send an HTTP response with 401, access denied. Third option, whether it will send a reset packet to the client. So there are two things. One is drop packet, one is reset packet. And D option is whether it will send an HTTP response containing 403 error. Anyone?
Answer
Reset
C.
the
C.
client.
Reset client.
So does anyone wants to answer A?
No. No.
So answer will be C. So it will just reset. Now, can anyone tell me what is difference between reset and drop?
In reset, it's a ICMP message will come.
Reset will
from the
notify to the
client.
end user. Drop will silently drop.
Drop means no information to the client. It will come.
Reset will send the
Then we will
information to
get
the
the
client.
logs.
Yeah, to the client, but in the silent drop, there no response will be sent it to the client.
Okay. Anyone else?
Silent means
Drop means
F5 load balancer
wrong IP
record
or
the
wrong
log.
subnet,
But in this
and reset means it will retry maybe some power issue or maybe some cabling issue or maybe some sync issue. It will be retry again and it will be established.
So reset will terminate the traffic. Drop
Actually, in the reset FI logging the traffic. In the silent drop, it won't logging the traffics.
Okay, so everyone is mostly correct. So answer is reset the packet. So when you talk about reject virtual server, mostly this scenario will come when your F5 is facing a DDoS attack. You have to generally drop it, some of the traffic. You generally see that there is a DDoS. You have to resolve that issue. In that case, most of the scenario of reject virtual server, which comes into picture. So this is one of the type of virtual server when I talk about standard performance, and this is one more concept which has been added that is called reject virtual server. Now one more question, interesting one for you all. You have an F5, okay, and in that case you have 4 pool members. It is basically on your load balancing algo. Server 1, server 2, you have 4 pool members, okay. Now server 1 will have, so load balancing algo I'm using ratio. You have one connection here, second here, third, fourth, then you have fifth, sixth. You have a ratio configured pool member as 1, pool member 2 as 2, sorry, ratio I will tell you 1, here also 1, here you have 3, here you have ratio 2. So ratios 1, ratio 1 here, 3 ratio in server. 3, just 1 minute, I might need to mute you all. I'll draw a picture again so that there is no confusion. You have one big IP with server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4. So this will be in the board, okay? Nowadays, interviewer is asking you to share your screen and draw a scenario to test your knowledge. Or maybe he can share his screen and design it. Nowadays, you are going in office and giving interview. Nowadays, there is no online because Corona is over. So ratio, I have configured server 1, 1, server 2, 1, server 3, 3, and server 4, 2. Now here I'm one connection, second, third, fourth, fifth connection, sixth connection, and I'm using ratio load balancing algo. Now, which pool member will receive the next request as per this diagram? Anyone? As per ratio load balancing method, where the server 1 will receive, server 2, server 3, or server 4. So answer to this is, since there was a disturbance, answer would be C. Means pool member 3. Because it has a capacity to accept one more connection. Now next question on load balancing, which is question number 12. So whenever you talk about load balancing algo, you need to understand how it works. These questions will be asked even in your certification exam. So you need to be very, very careful. Question number 10, 12 to everyone. Then we will discuss further on depending on time, because I'll take half an hour more of yours to understand. What is slow ramp time in F5? Anyone? When I talk about slow ramp time, what does it means in F5?
It will slowly
Yeah,
increase the traffic
It will,
yeah.
on the.
it
Whenever
will
the
slowly increase the number of connections for the
whenever
pool.
the server comes up, so it will slowly increment the traffic.
It will not overload immediately. It will
Yeah,
slowly increase.
it take time.
Yeah, it's when a new pool member added in the existing pool, and so in that case, the like where the fully load will not came on that newly added server pool member. So after the period of the slow ramp time, so it will slowly increase the load on that server. Right.
Okay, anyone else? And where this setting comes? Next question to you.
It will come in pool settings.
So when
If
I talk about slow ramp time, answer is definitely correct. Basically, it will help if some server goes down, it comes up to get overloaded. That is a simple language. That is correct. Now, where you can enable this feature, if someone does not know, by default, this is enabled, but we don't know where we need to do check. So just go into advanced. This is where it comes. Now, question number 13, that is, what is the drawback of using passive monitoring? I'll give you the option. What is the drawback of passive monitoring? We have seen active monitoring, other monitors, but there is a concept of passive monitoring. A, it creates additional network traffic. Please understand the option, then answers. See, I would like to know your approach. Second, I would have taken questions and I would know, but I wanted to be interactive, so that's why. Second, cannot verify content or whether service is running. C, can be potentially slow. When I talk about slow, it can be potentially slow to identify whether server is offline or online. D option, it uses additional system resources. Both F5 and pool member. So A, it creates additional network traffic. B, it uses additional, sorry, B cannot verify the content. C, can be potentially slow. D, creating additional system resources on F5 and server.
C and D.
Okay, anyone else?
C. Slow will.
Okay, Anyone else? So far, I did not receive any correct answers.
A.
Maybe.
B. Cannot
Additional.
verify content traffic.
Can you repeat who was answering that?
Cannot verify content traffic. B.
What's your name?
Sayed.
Can you explain what is passive monitoring? Your answer is 100% correct. Please stay on the call after this session, okay? You
Sure,
will
sir.
get one prize from our side.
Sure,
Thank you
sir.
so much. So we have 5 prizes after this. So first prize goes to what was your name?
Sayed.
Okay, Sayed, please remain on the call after the session.
Cannot.
So answer is cannot verify. Sayed, can you explain everyone who has answered wrongly? What is the use case of passive monitoring?
So it's a standby. If primary will down, secondary will be take the control.
No,
it
that
will
is
not.
correct.
It will not actively monitor all the what we can say applications. We can say. I mean, pool member status or
The passive
can
is
I
just
explain?
monitors what's
Yeah.
going on, and based on that, it takes decisions.
Yeah.
The purpose is not to put means any additional resources.
Okay.
Uh,
So
it
passive,
can mark,
yeah, go ahead, go
it
ahead.
can mark the pool member as a down.
See, based on
No,
the incoming and outgoing traffic, based on the real traffic, it will monitor the traffic. It does not require additional resources to monitor the traffic.
so passive monitoring, some of the people were correct. So generally, it does not create any additional load like cookie persistence and other. It will just monitor your traffic on which feature anyone. That question is answer is correct. That it does not monitor your content or any services. But how it will monitor whether server is up or down? That answer I'm looking.
Uh,
How it
y-
works.
Based on the actual incoming and outgoing traffic.
No,
Okay.
that is the heartbeat. Heartbeat will be sync passive and monitoring. If a heartbeat
No,
will not receive in
your
particular
answer is
time,
wrong. First, who answered that question? Answer that it will monitor based on incoming traffic.
Vinay, sir.
Now I will give you one question here. Okay, that answer is mostly correct, but on which basis like it fails? Successful,
TCP
it's fine.
sessions,
One
connections.
No, but on which basis it will get fail?
Based on the we create some session, right? Chat after 10 packets or 300 seconds, there is a time frame. Based on the time frame, if it does not respond, also it stop the it mention that server is down, backend server is down based on the drops it receive. If it does not respond in a specific time,
No problem, time is over. Example of passive monitor.
let's take an example.
No, hold on, sir. Out of this monitor, which one is called passive monitor?
Inband. Yeah, this one is
So it
it.
will fail or correct will be depending on this condition.
Yeah.
Question number 15. When I talk about source address persistence, this is live scenario based question. There is a command called mask. So when I go here into the profile, when I go into the persistence, there is one field called source address persistence. What does this prefix length mean?
It will limit the source address
How many
for
IPs?
the
How
specific
many?
subnets.
Sir, one by one,
Yeah.
if you are answering one, please stop answering second because it will confuse. Question is, I need what is prefix length in source address persistence? Go one by one, please.
It's the CIDR notation. Like if you are using /24.
Sorry, Javed, you are not allowed. I want someone new.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this one is how many clients IP address is used to maintain the persistence?
No. Anyone else?
Uh,
Based on the source address, it will be hit the packet and it will maintain.
So that is source address persistence. What is the use of prefix length?
It means prefix length we can allow specific like /24 or /25 entire subnet.
Longest prefix will be preferred.
Sir, again, who is answering? See, who is that? Who was answering that?
Prem.
So Prem, no, you were answering. Someone else was repeating that. So Prem, your answer is correct. So basically, prefix length is basically on your /CIDR. There is nothing like IP address or something. So basically, this is used based on your subnet mask.
So, sir,
one more
so
question.
Sir, here highest CDR will be more preferred or lowest CDR will be more preferred?
Higher. Every time higher will be preferred, right?
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah, someone was asking something.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, what is the difference between open connections and the new connections?
What is the difference between
open connections and new connections in the dashboard?
So that you can call me tomorrow 7 p.m. This is we'll discuss
Because
that
same
after
I
the
read with the
presentation.
FI tech, okay? So I'm expecting,
No problem, sir. We'll discuss that.
I have
So
one
question number 18 for everyone. What happens in cookie hash when you use cookie persistence? There is a algo method which you use cookie persistence, that is persistence method. There is one method in that called cookie hash. And that, can someone explain me how the traffic flow will be with this method? Whoever explains correct, you will get second prize. Don't see the Google because I need a practical approach. Google, you can get the answer. But I'll ask one question which you will not answer. So please, and answer you need to give in next 1 minute.
Sir, client will be send the request to F5. In that F5, they will add the cookies, and it forward to servers. Hatch, and that cookies will be F5 will do hatch method, and whatever the cookies F5 will be there, that F5 will be converted into hash method.
What hash method? Can you tell me what will be the offset value and hash length?
Offset value is method set. I don't know, but this thing I know.
No, that is not correct. Anyone else?
Does this mean the hash will be sent to the client?
What is hash offset value in that? Anyone?
The hash offset must be the same subnet size.
Cookie hash. Your voice is little low. Can you be loud?
Yes, I think yeah, the cookie hash subnet and offset value must be with the prefix length only.
Yes,
So that concept is basically on source address persistence. I'm talking about cookie hash.
Sir, login, sir, it will maintain, sir, it will maintain login and cost and percentage. It will be main cookie percentage. How many percentage?
Hash. I'm talking about cookie hash.
Can I go for server IP and server port number? It be going to be made a hash like a Palo Alto do.
No, basically answer is in cookie hash,
Cookies values
it
to
will
specific
insert.
node.
So time is over, sir. Sorry so much. So
Okay.
with cookie hash method, the pool member will insert one of the HTTP set cookie header based on your hash offset and hash length. That calculation will be done by F5 by default. So there are two concepts here. I'll show you. When you go to cookie, so these questions you will not find in Google. Okay, and no one was able to answer. Thank you so much for your help on that. So when I go in cookie, so there is one cookie method. So these are the two terms, hash offset and hash length. So what does it do? Go into help and check this. So basically what happened when a pool member send the response, big IP system will pass that response containing the cookie name also, and it will create a hash value based on cookie value. Now, when I talk about cookie value and hash value, hash offset is number of characters in the header content that big IP should skip before calculating the hash value. So basically, when I talk about characters are some of the headers which it will skip. And when I talk about length, so there are two terms which is important to understand hash. So hash is something for more security purpose, like in decryption when you have symmetric and asymmetric algos, when you create a hash. So hash value and hash offset are two terms. And if I show you the picture, I'll show you one picture where you will understand more. Go into this because right now I cannot explain. If you have doubts, you can ask later on. But just go here. Just go to images. I'll see if I found somewhere. Maybe I'll discuss later on this because we have time limit. So basically, this is one of the everyone has knows about insert, passive, and rewrite. Now they have one more method which is called cookie hash, based on the hash value of your content. So here it will not hash your request traffic. It will hash your HTTP response. And in response, there is one feature which is called set cookie headers. There you will see one hash value which will get encrypted. Now question number 20, which will be the last question for today, because I might not be able to cover more and it is overheaded also for everyone. Question number 20, last question from one of the topic called, you have an F5, you have 3 servers, 4 server, let's say. I want DCDR environment, and this is only a load balancer. And I want a DCDR features. I want that when a client traffic comes in from F5, from different client, I want that it should always go to server 1, server 2. And if this goes down, then it should go to server 3, server 4. Anyone?
Priority group.
Yeah,
We need to
priority
set
group.
priority group. We need to set it.
Priority group round robin.
No, priority group. We need to set it.
Yeah, priority
High
group
road.
activation.
High road.
No.
Priority group.
Priority group.
Priority group
through
only.
through iRules we can segregate this, manipulate the traffic through iRules.
No. Priority group, you have to give high value to the active server and low value to the others.
Right. We need to set the priority group, and based on that, whichever the highest priority, the traffic will forward to them. And if one of the server got failed, based on that, it will switch to the second priority group.
Can we set weight also here work? If you will set the weight for the DC 100 and press wait, we'll set the wait for 200 for DR. We can signify from the wait only.
Yeah, priority group we need to set. Then we need to whichever has the higher priority, that would be the primary one, and the other would be the secondary one.
But sir, question is both server then they make a connection is equal ways. Then with the priority you set S1 will take the huge traffic, it will hit.
No,
And
no, it's
S2
not
will-
like that. S1, S2 should be the same priority value, 10.
Right,
Okay, S3,
right.
S3, S4 is the 20. In that case, means traffic will DR between the data center 1 to data center 2.
Yeah, S1, S2 should be in the same priority group, and S3, S4 into the other priority group.
Yeah.
And and S1, S2 we provide a higher priority so that the traffic would pass to the S1 and S2.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Someone answered I rule. Can you please explain me how we can achieve this through I rule? That is an interesting thing from me also. How we can achieve? So answer is priority group. That is one answer. Someone was saying through I rule we can achieve a DCDR. Can someone tell me? I rule is a bigger term for me. I want to go basics of I rule. How you will create this, that you want traffic should go to DC. When DC goes down, it should go to DR. So there is no way you can apply I rule. If you found it, please tell me. I'll love to listen that. And someone was saying I rule. Can you tell me, please? Might be that is new for me. See, I'm not expert, right? I'm like you only. You can tell me also the approach. Okay, then, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this type of
sir.
sessions will help you further on.
Sir.
I'll just hold on, please. 1 minute. I'll take Q&A after recording stop. So I hope this type of sessions will help you much, because as per promise, there will be few questions more which I'll be taking another session later on. But I want this to be more interactive with your